Okay, boys and girls, moms and dads, kids of all ages, I'm going to do the injection cleaning on these injectors I just put in this last couple of weeks. You guys have been following this, and this is my first video where I'm talking. I don't like it. I'm going to share anyway, so here we go. What I'm doing is disconnecting the fuel lines, so I can connect up a couple of rubber hoses, a 1/2 inch and a 3/8 line, to an external tank and run some diesel and some fuel injector cleaner through it. So we will be back in momentarily. Okay, so we pulled off the two safety connectors, or whatever you want to call them. Nick, stop picking on me, okay, dude? Alright, now let's disconnect. Hey, look, stuff fell. At least it's not a 10 millimeter. Alright, let's disconnect this line here. Get in there. Need 2 hands to do that. So, I'll be back again. Hang on. Lines are off. Now it's time to hook up connect a 1/2 inch and a 3/8, 3 feet of rubber hose, fuel line hose. So again, I'll be back. Sorry, didn't mean to make that sound like Terminator. Fortunately, I have 3/8 and 1/2 inch line with the clamp still on them from the last fuel injection cleaning I did on the last truck. Honestly, I can't remember if it was the LBZ or if I already tried to clean this LMM fuel injection system. I don't know. But we're going to connect up these hoses and we'll go from there. Alright, fuel lines are connected, tightened up. Other end's waiting to go in the fuel jug, which I have sitting over here on the mower. We're going to use 1/2 gallon of diesel fuel and 16 ounces of top end cleaner. Let's see. When I bought this from the dealership, it was a little over 50 bucks for the bottle, so it does 2 cleanings. It works really well. Well, it worked really well on the last engine that I cleaned. So let's get this connected. So I have my 5 pints, if I have my math correct, and Scott up in Canada and Hayden, you guys have to do the conversion on your own. I'm too tired and I don't remember crap, so figure it out. Anyway, so there's the mix. 1/2 gallon of diesel and a pint of fuel injection cleaner. We're going to do the hoses right in there. And then, let's see, that should be, yep, pretty much where I need them to be. And then to keep anything from moving, Nick, tell me what this is. Picking on you. There you go. Alright, so we're going to stick this right here to make sure nothing moves. And start this thing up and let it run until it gets close to running out. While the truck's doing its thing, I've already pulled the CTS2 out of here so I can update it a second time because it seems to want to lock up on me. I keep it right there, and there's a hat on top of it, and that's for, well, the reason I do that is to keep the sun off of it and keep it from overheating. And also at nighttime when I'm driving long distances, the back light doesn't dim enough for me, so I put the hat over it so it doesn't blind me. There we go. Alright, so let's take the CTS2 inside with me. Let's get this thing started up, and yeah, there's my crappy 08 truck. Alright, here we go. While the truck's running and doing its thing, injection cleaning, I'm going to go plug the monitor back in, try to get it taken care of, and fix myself a second What Would Dave Do? Alright, see you in about, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes. Okay, so I lied. The gas tank here still has about half of the fuel in it. It's been about 45 minutes and I still have a ways to go. So, hoping it's doing all right. Let's see. What can we share here? I have not plugged in the CTS2 yet after updating it, trying to update it a second time. And Charles, thank you for the hashtag I hate Dave. Okay, let's see. The truck's still running. We're an hour and 20 plus minutes into it. The tank is almost empty. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off and reconnect the lines, and let's see how the injector balance rates look. So, the lines have been disconnected that went to the external tank. The factory lines are connected back in place, and the 3/8 and 1/2 inch hoses are disconnected and draining, so I can use them next time. Almost forgot, guys. Since I had disconnected the fuel lines, I'm gonna have to bleed the system, so 13mm wrench, loosen up the bleeder valve. Here we go. Do the captain's perminator here. Get that thing bled out, and we should be good to go. So I fired up the truck. I gotta tell you, it's a lot easier when your fast 165 is working. But got it fired up, so let's see what the injector balance rates are doing if my CTS2 is working properly. And oh, there it goes. Well, look at that. Looks like my rates are a little bit worse than they were when I started. Well, we're gonna drive it and see what happens. But our number 6 is doing a lot better than it was when it was over 5, and our number 8 is still, well, actually it's working now, so I'm pretty happy with that. So let's see what happens after we drive it. I'll come back for an update. And also, what would Dave do? Number 3. Give it a moment for this thing to spin up. Russ, appreciate your page. Junior, keep it in your shorts. What would Dave do? Well, it kind of speaks for itself. And everybody else, well, we'll catch up to you later. So, let's see what happens here. Well, looks like the CTS2 is trying to be on the fritz again. Oh, there we go. It's coming up. By the way, I did clean off the screen to make sure there's no fingerprints from grease and dust and dirt and embedded in fingerprints to make sure it wasn't giving a false push on the screen. So there we have it in idle, in park, and after it's been driven, and I tell you what, I can live with that. Funny thing about experimenting, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. In this case, I put a 9-blade wheel on the turbine side, the exhaust side, with a 68mm compressor wheel, and I'll tell you what, when it comes to pulling with a trailer, that was not a good combination. It takes about 24 to 2500 RPM before it really wants to spin up, and that's just not enough when you're pulling a 32-foot gooseneck and it's loaded down heavily. So truck's running better, injector balance rates are good. I'm pretty okay with it considering what I put into it, but had I known better, I would have left a stock 11-blade turbine wheel in there. So there we have it.